All right, what's up, guys? While I wait for people to come in, let's do those super cool thumbnail faces that you got to do for the views. That's a classic one hand over mouth. The ABBA and Preach. I think these are pretty good. I guess on the replay, this might not be quality content, seeing all that, but you got to do it. These ADD people watching YouTube, you're competing with TikTok and Shorts. You got to get their attention with some dumb shit. All right. With that said, I'm about to start playing a video. I do want to confirm that the audio works. I also don't like having the noise cancellation. There we go. What was I going to say? I wonder if this is the best time for a live stream. 12 a.m. probably. All right. In this video, you're going to see the greatest pickup of all time. You're going to see a man approach a beautiful woman and seduce her without talking. A silent pickup. This is some next level stuff that you can't even comprehend how powerful this pickup is. Imagine you see a hot girl. You don't have to talk to her. You don't have to listen to all the dumb shit. You just get straight to it. Just penetrate her with your gaze. We're going to watch that video. Hope you're looking forward to it. Yes, this is a real video. Yes, I'm not joking, maybe. And yes, I'm 100% deadly serious. So let's get into it.
I've never seen anything like this before in my life. And I've seen, rapid escalation and everything, but I've never seen this.
Let me know if you guys hear the audio. I want to make sure you can hear the audio because I don't want to play the whole fucking thing if the audio didn't work.
Because it's the thing that I know that, that's the next level for any coach out there. So I feel it's the next level for any coach. In seeing you do that, it was just a revelation for me. It's been a revelation being with this man. For some reason, I thought Barcelona was going to give me like this amazing woman this time, but I felt like it gave me you in a way that it allowed me to see these insights because I'm more attracted.
That's so sweet.
Now than I've ever been, and it's because I'm more me than I've ever been, and that'll be a practice for me for life.
The greatest pickup of all time. What does that even mean?
This guy is so spiritual that he completely lacks any pretentiousness. He's just so zen, so present, so egoless that you can tell why a woman would fall in love with him without him having to even say a single word.
The greatest pickup of all time. Because you've seen everything, right? You've seen...
Okay, but let's skip him talking. I don't give a shit. Let's get to the good stuff.
Something universal. Something underlying the way that we speak. Something underlying the way that we interact. Something timeless. And where would you start for such a thing? Where would you start?
Stop.
He's using some Jedi mind tricks right there. Stop. And she obeys. She feels the dominant but compassionate masculine energy emanating off of him. And she can't help but want to stop. She is intrigued. She is compelled to interact, to let this man seduce her.
This is the best. This is the best. This is the best. People will never know what this means.
I'm intentionally mirroring her body language, standing to the side.
You thought you had to know what to say to talk to a girl? You thought you had to think of something interesting or witty? You don't need to know shit if you can just silently let your energy manifest itself into her vagina.
Now I face her, taking her hand, increasing emotional impact, my intent and expression.
Now, you guys watching this, you might be wondering, is it actually possible to pick up a girl without talking? And it 100% is. I've actually pulled girls, not without talking at all, but girls who did not speak English. And we only shared a few basic phrases, a few words before we hooked up. That was it. There was very, very little talking. You know, a few Google Translates here and there, and that's about it. So it is 100% possible. I've actually seen a full infield by RSD Max where he does pull a girl without talking. He pretends that he's mute the whole time. It turns out he ran into her the next day and he was talking, so it was awkward. But he pretends to be mute and he shows the full infield and it looks 100% real and legit to me. It's a little bit awkward at times and he does need to use his phone to, message her, but it is possible. It's not impossible. You can do a lot with your energy, with just having that strong, with having strong intent and just leading and having positive assumptions, just carrying yourself in a way that is charismatic and masculine. But that doesn't mean this clip is real, right? I don't know for sure yet. I haven't seen the whole thing, but he does have a bit of that fake spiritual energy, that fake hustler vibe, right? The spiritual hustler, the guy who pretends to be spiritual to make money. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting. So far, is this possible though? Yeah, it's 100% possible. So far, telling a girl to stop and having a unique interaction where she's just silently staring into your eyes and you're looking at her, that could be held for a while, but eventually it's going to get really awkward and you have to have some way to lead it forward. So we'll see what happens.
What thoughts do you think I'm having? What thoughts do you need to account for her thoughts to be safe from judgment and her sense of being judged?
Wow, he's really relaxing her with that stare.
He does seem very relaxed. I'll give him that. He seems pretty confident and he seems relaxed, and that will bring women in, right? That'll bring anyone in, really. But people generally, if someone takes a leadership role and they do it confidently and they do it in a calm way, people will generally just naturally want to follow. They just have an instinctual desire to go along with it. And this is a good example of what that looks like.
Why isn't this awkward?
This is the best.
He's escalating with touch, which is definitely, you need to do something. You can't just stare at her. So he's basically getting compliance. He's seeing if she's willing, comfortable with touch, if she's comfortable with things moving in a more sexual direction, which if you're not allowing yourself to speak, that's probably the best thing you could do here.
Here I could feel she softened, so now I soften and show my vulnerability. The little boy in me to meet and play with the little girl in her. I'm actually mirroring her, but with more than just my posture right now.
Nobody's gonna hold her with you.
And now my posture is intentionally more elevated than hers.
Mirroring is actually a powerful thing, and it's something to be aware of, because if a girl is mirroring you, which if she's attracted to you, if she's in rapport with you, is going to happen very often, it's a huge sign that she is feeling willing to go along with whatever you want to do, right? That you have a lot of influence, that she's going to be very compliant. I wish there was a less creepy word. If anyone knows one, let me know in the comments, but that's the technical term, that she will be compliant. And that is actually a very important concept.
Showing her strength and confidence.
You're not gonna be Annie.
That's not true. You just need an open heart and proper non-duality mirror training.
I don't know what the fuck that was. Sounds weird. Sounds kind of stupid. But we'll ignore that.
Calibrating to her emotionally, physically, and mentally using non-duality mirror pairing.
I can't take these terms seriously. Like the non-duality mirroring. I can't take that shit seriously. But there are a lot of interesting things to take from this clip, so we'll keep going despite the weird spiritual jargon.
See, I'm now a solid, safe, and open canvas to her. To resolve the creative pressure, she needs to paint, to create, and to get closer to the canvas.
I feel like he would be way more successful if he could just use a total different vocabulary, like a completely different vocabulary, because he's just making himself sound very spiritual, which people can get along with that. I mean, I'm actually very into Alan Watts and Osho, and I find that stuff very interesting. But he also is just saying it in the most pretentious way possible that's just very, very off-putting.
Just wonder where you came from. From the stars, Iris.
From the stars?
The vibe seems really off here. The way she's talking, it seems really off. Now, this appears to be in Europe, and so culturally, I would say people are more at ease with themselves generally. They're less neurotic, less narcissistic in Europe. So maybe that's part of what I'm picking up on. It's just the cultural difference. But she seems to be a little too confident, a little too comfortable with what's happening, a little too unfazed to where it kind of looks like she might be acting. I can't say that for sure yet. Maybe it is real. Maybe this is the greatest pickup of all time, but it seems a little bit off. Just seems a little off. That was a genuine reaction to the dancing. That did make sense. So that seemed real.
You can learn to do this with anyone. It's not hypnosis, but it is transporting.
I actually think it kind of is hypnosis, and hypnosis is something that it sounds very woo-woo, not as much as some of the terms this guy's using. It sounds very woo-woo, but it's something that has actually been scientifically proven to have a lot of benefits. There's a lot of, proven is a strong word, nothing's really scientifically proven, but there's a lot of evidence that it is effective at helping you do a lot of different things. It can help people deal with chronic pain, for example, help people quit smoking, things like that. One interesting example is Andrew Tate, who became very famous very quickly, extremely confident guy. One of his top guys that he associates with, the leader of his war room, other than himself, is a hypnotist. That's his background, and Andrew Tate occasionally talks about it. There is a lot of reason to believe that hypnosis is powerful. And what it is, it's not necessarily verbal. It's basically getting into a state of unconscious compliance, emotional compliance, that you are just in a vulnerable, open state. It's a different brainwave is the technical. We won't go into all that. But basically, if someone is pacing you and they're leading, so that's what he's doing. He's pacing by having the same body language as her, and then leading by physically escalating and then dancing with her. If someone goes with your pacing, and then they are more likely to go with your leading. You can actually, I've used this in the past to give women multiple climaxes. This is one use of hypnosis, and that's one way I know it actually works, because I've gotten women to have many. You can't fake certain type. I can't go into too much detail because it's YouTube, but you can't fake certain types of climaxes, if you know what I'm saying. So that's how I know it works. And you pace by telling the woman something that she's currently feeling. Let's say you can tell she's aroused. You tell her how aroused she feels. And then you lead by saying the thing you want her to feel, which is to say, have a climax. And you can use that principle of hypnosis. You're literally just doing hypnosis to give women multiple climaxes. That's just one example. And what he's doing here is actually hypnosis, even though he's not calling it that. This is an example of pacing and leading.
Man, this is incredible.
She likes my bold willingness to feel. See, women like a man who's unafraid to express himself.
You know, you could turn it the
That's true. I still can't tell if this is real. Like, I'm still deciding. I'm like 50-50. Is this real or is this completely fake? It's just an actor.
other way around and say, this is normal. What is everything else?
That's right.
Maybe all these people, they're just creations in our theater, and they don't really exist.
Okay, so that line he said was actually pretty good. Maybe this is normal and everyone else is everyone else is fake. That was pretty clever because it's creating a bubble. They're on the same team. They're basically different. They're special. Every woman wants to feel special, like she is unique and different and better, really, than other people. And he's creating that they're better together. By being together, they are better than everyone else. That's actually very good framing. The next thing he says, it's too cheesy for me to go along with it, but even if it's cheesy, if the girl is buying what you're selling, even if you're saying something cheesy, if you say it with enough conviction, it could work.
I do agree. There's a chance.
What I'm about to do now is the holy grail of seduction. I'm out of my head or thoughts just enough to read and then mirror her heart in a space I've created where she feels comfortable, skipping weeks, maybe even years of getting to know someone.
Can you just speak in goddamn English? Like,
The Dalai Lama said, "Man, this shit is genius." I've never met anyone who to me is a stranger. If you can see that you're not separate from others, you can naturally guide them to feel that they are not separate from you. Fast tracking the heart, I can lead.
okay, I don't like the way he's saying this, but what he's saying in seduction, there is something important to take from it. He's saying when you realize you're not separate, the feeling of when you are in rapport, when you are actually seducing someone, you feel deeply connected, you feel intimate. Really, what it is the feeling of not being separate. That is a great way to put it. It's the feeling that you just feel you're so in the moment, you're so connected with the other person that you don't really feel that separation, that this person might judge me, this person might have different values than me, that you feel like you're completely on the same team and you're completely connected. That is the goal in a way of seduction, and that's the beauty of seduction, is having that experience. Sex is one manifestation of that, but that experience, I think, is one of the peak experiences you can have in life, is feeling totally connected with another person.
Where the heart already wants to go. It wants to go home.
So what does a woman want? It's funny because to provide what a woman wants beyond the intellect, beyond being a man,
We're looking at the greatest pickup of all time, possibly. We're deciding whether it's real or whether she's an actor, but it's a silent pickup. Although he did talk a little bit, so not quite silent.
beyond your idea of being in control that you think seduction is all about, beyond language, you might find you have to do less with our nervous thinking minds. But less is hard to do.
This is kind of a tangent, but it's also important. I think this guy is a great example of why being too spiritual, being too your head is in the clouds, you have all these grand concepts, grand ideas, and not being practical about life, not having a practical habits and strategies and like a system you're created, taking a systematic approach. This video went semi-viral. His channel clearly had a lot of potential, but he didn't grow it after this. He didn't keep doing the same thing. He didn't turn this into a system, right? He didn't keep releasing in-field videos of this nature. He didn't keep consistently release videos on a schedule. And so that's hampering his results, his success. Having, being spiritual or not, that's fine. But these spiritual people who have this kind of thinking, and if this is you to any extent, really think about it, they tend to avoid having systems, and not having systems holds them back from having long-term success because they don't have any consistency. They're just all over the place. And this video is very interesting. It got shit tons of views. He could have made his channel far, far more successful if he took a more systematic approach. And the same thing is probably true with his results in dating, although I can't say for certain. It is kind of odd that she hasn't seen the camera because she's pointed very close to it. And I mean, maybe it has a crazy zoom or something like that, but it looks like he's very close and it's a little sus, as they say, sussy baka, as they say.
It's funny to see those girls looking. Look at those girls looking.
And he has two angles. Okay, that's pretty crazy. So he has two angles, and she hasn't noticed either of the angles. And this it looks like it's a phone to me, which doesn't have a lot of zoom, just based on the way it looks. It's a little suspicious.
Be honest now. What is this? Why did you stop me? Why?
Yes, why are you here? You're gonna try to figure it out?
No. Thank you. Gracias.
What words and thoughts brought people together before language existed? See, women want to be seen by men. Women want.
Okay, again, he said it in a really weird way, but what was the nature of men and women? What was the way they interacted, the way they connected? How did seduction has always existed? Attraction has always existed. Language has not existed that long. It's about 100,000 years. There's different estimates, but let's say 100,000 years. Humans, our brains have been roughly the same for about 1,000,000 years. And when you think about that, that means for most of human history, we were having sex without language. So that means, as far as our brains, our subconscious, our emotions are concerned, seduction is pre-verbal. Language is like the icing on the cake. It's not, most of what's happening is beneath language. It would be things like body language, things like eye contact, things like the energy you're projecting, things like tonality, right? They might be grunting in different tones that, starts the mating ritual, but it would be about those things, and language would not be nearly as important. That's partly why something like a silent pickup, I'm not convinced this is real, but it is possible. I've done it. I've seen infield of other people doing it. It is 100% possible.
Want to be loved. They want to have attention. They want to be fucked, just like men. And even though I don't know her, I can feel her.
All right, I liked the way he said that. Finally, I can agree with what he said.
Her need for intimacy, which is not different than my need.
I can feel when you think.
La vida es una ilusión.
Exactly.
Says it right there.
No, I don't believe you.
I swear.
I trust you. Sweaty?
No.
I was hot then.
I feel like this.
Can you feel that there's one space pervading us all, totally open and loving? When we quiet our minds,
Yeah, if Eckhart Tolle
There's
was a
only
pickup
one.
coach. Hey, to be fair, Osho, If you want to learn game, Osho, he had a, a lot of women. He had like full on harems. So and Rasputin also famously was a spiritual guy. Women are very seduced by spirituality. So for a man, as a man, hearing him say something like that, I cringe. I'm like, "Ugh, what the fuck? There's only shut the fuck up, dude. Shut the fuck up." That's what I think, right? But a lot of women hearing that, they're like, "Oh my god!" They resonate with that. I mean, women are tend to be into astrology, for example. Most men think it's silly, it's dumb, and men like football, and women think it's dumb. It's just a difference, and if that is something that you resonates with you, that spiritual kind of talk, that spiritual kind of stuff, it is actually very attractive to women. It can be very useful to bring that kind of stuff up. Just with a lot of men, they're going to think it sounds dumb.
When you feel this arm with your hand, is it you touching me, or is there just feeling? But is it your sensation, or is it my sensation?
Just this.
It's just sensation. Yeah.
Okay, so he's actually, despite all the spiritual mumbo jumbo, that is good frame control. So he's creating a frame where when I touch you and you feel it and I feel it, is that my sensation or your sensation, or is it just our sensation, a universal sensation, whatever? What that's doing is he's verbalizing the idea of them being connected, of them being in sync, of them being unseparate, right? And that is actually pretty powerful. I think that's actually his way of saying it. Again, some people would think it's cheesy, but he didn't just go to there out of nowhere. He's been saying spiritual sounding things for a while, and she's going along with it. So it makes sense that he would continue doing so. And that's actually, in that context, it's a very good line.
Letting go completely into a stranger. Because we all love to love.
Okay, it's kind of weird.
Because we are love. If you don't know the other person, it must be love, loving love. The universe seducing itself. Find that pre-language, ancient place in yourself so that you can bring it out in others.
That was a good point. Okay, so kind of weird that he cuts it off there. I mean, the greatest pickup of all time, you're going to kind of expect that he brings the girl home, right? That he picks her up completely. It looked like he made out with her, so that is still quite impressive. I'm exactly 50-50 as to whether that was real or whether that was fake, because it was kind of weird that they managed to get two camera angles where she was pointing towards both of them and she didn't notice. And I have a good idea of what is noticeable and what isn't, having filmed infield myself. And that's it's pushing it. It's stretching it. And some of the way she acted seemed a little disingenuous, but a lot of it did make sense. A lot of it was very believable. So I'm 50-50. I would say there are still a lot of lessons to learn from that, right? The feedback, the analysis I gave, it still applies. Even if that clip turned out she was acting and it was fake, the analysis still holds true. It's just, don't try to be that guy. Don't do exactly what he did. But there's still a lot to learn um, about what women find seductive, about frame control, about calmness, about having calm, intense eye contact. Those things still all hold true. And he did a lot of things very well. So I will say that. Um, to see how likely this is real or fake, I actually want to look at another one of his infields. So I'm going to, let's see, share screen. Okay. Chrome tab. All right. Let me know if it's working. I'm going to play the audio. Let me know if it's working.
of her predisposition.
as opposed to
So let's see if his game is consistent. Now, let me know, by the way, guys, let me know if the audio is working. Works. Okay, thank you. I like that he doesn't take himself too seriously. Okay.
oh shit.
So far, not quite as smooth as the last clip. What the fuck am I watching?
You have to be physically fit.
That is ridiculous. This is really, really dumb. Just being a clown, right? I mean, it'll get their attention, but it'll get their pity type of attention, not the attraction kind of tension. So if he's doing this just to be ridiculous and be a clown for content, and he's not actually trying to pick them up, and he explains that maybe, but this is pretty stupid.
You have to be physically fit. You have to be advanced enough to walk backward. Who's seen everything. That's a nice smile. Will you do me a favor? So as soon as I came around her and I looked at her and she saw me, she's like, seen this before? Or a wall?
I don't think she's ever seen that before. Hello, my darling. Hello. Don't think she's seen that before.
You tell me.
I'm sorry, but I don't speak.
No, speak English. You tell me.
She probably does speak English, but this guy, he seems like a homeless person, like a crazy, like on drugs. That's what he seems like. Literally, that's how he's coming across. So this already makes me change my mind about how likely that last clip was real. It's getting less and less likely every second of this clip because this is so socially inept.
I'm sorry, but I don't speak.
No, speak English. Oh my God. I run from McDonald's. I see you. In order for her to hate me, I would have had to do what normally guys do. So in this sense, the agreement is, nice smile. Will you do me a favor? There was no agreement on the status quo, the normalcy of an approach. Guy wants girl, girl is not sure and protective. If there is a person or a wall, you tell me. You're gonna tell me, right? If there's something, let's agree. We have to agree to this. If there's, no, speak English. Oh my God. I run from McDonald's. I see you. And I'm McDonald's, I see you. And I say, oh, and I run. I discharged myself from the normal grammar of approaching. The new language with my hands. I was there. Oh, old man, old man. And now, oh, nice to meet you. My name, I say hello, nice to meet you. My name,
I'm
Andrew.
surprised he got her to stop.
Adele.
Oh, Adele, hello.
Yeah.
And you have name or no name?
No, they.
No name. Just like, in Africa.
She's saying that because she's so weirded out by this guy. She doesn't even want to give him her name. That's how uncomfortable she is. Like, this is weird. I don't know if this guy is, like harmless psycho or bad kind of psycho, but he's weird.
They have sometimes name like,
Yeah.
it's
Something
like
that.
this. Me too, I'm African. Okay. Hello. Nice to meet you. I go to my friend, but I send you text message and we fall in love. Maybe fall in love. In my experience, which is not insignificant, a girl who I said, let me get your number. She didn't have any resistance. There was no Facebook or Instagram. She just gave me her number. She was definitely flattered.
I mean, look, he's making himself stand out from the crowd when you bow. But you also seem like a dork. Girls don't have sex with dorks. They might entertain you for a bit. They might talk to you. They might give you the pity fake number. But they don't have sex with dorks. Unless they're dorks. But, I mean, good job.
I met her. I approached her and talked to her.
They're probably making fun of him. Like as they walk away, what the fuck was that? That's what they're thinking. So that was weird. And that makes me think the first pickup, despite the fact that there were actually a lot of things he did well in that one, maybe the reason he was so much more confident, so much more grounded, is that he knew that this is an actress and she's going to react exactly the way that he wants her to react. Because there were points where it seemed off. There were points where it seemed a little weird. It's odd that she didn't notice the camera. However, there were a lot of things, there were still lessons to take from it, despite it probably being completely fake. So was that the greatest pickup of all time? Absolutely not. Based on that other pickup, that was some of the cringier pickup I've seen. Right? That was like Sasha Day game level cringe. That was really, really bad. Really awkward clown show. What the fuck are you doing, bro? With that said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit the bell button. And if you want to learn actual game without being, a clown, without having to make yourself seem like a freak, and just being normal, being cool, and just making your intentions clear, knowing how to lead things forward in a very smooth, calibrated, relatable way, then make sure to click the link below to get a copy of my online course, The Spark, which gives you a complete guide to doing that. And I've also recently added a 30-day challenge that takes you through the process. If you don't know how to approach a girl, right? Let's say you have bad approach anxiety. You just don't want to do it. How to get over that approach anxiety. It'll show you how to get 10 to 100 times as many matches on Tinder, how to get far more matches on Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, etc., and how to get really good results with new pictures on those apps. And it'll show you how to build so much momentum that in the next month, you will be more confident and have more success with women in dating than you ever thought possible, as long as you complete the challenge. And it's also designed so that even if you've never approached a girl in your life, you have crippling social anxiety. I had panic disorder when I started. I would get vertigo the first times I went out to approach women. I would feel like I was going to pass out. There were times where I thought I was literally having a heart attack just going out in the mall trying to talk to girls. That's how bad my anxiety was. I managed to overcome it. I understand that a lot of people approaching women is not easy for everyone. But there is a method based on scientific research, based on something in psychology called gradual exposure therapy, that I implement in this system so that no matter what your starting point is, you will be able to start getting success. So make sure to click the link below to learn more about that. Sasha Day game level. Well, he's pretty fucking weird. All right. So that was 38 minutes. It's interesting. I've been just making sure to talk to record a video every day, I do a daily journal. Everyone should do that, where you're just like keeping like, how was your day a success? Were there things you learned, things you could do better, that kind of shit. Nerd shit that is still very useful. And I've just been doing that in video form. I've been doing this in video form. And just doing that for like 4 days. And it's noticeably less uncomfortable for me to talk to the camera. It's just a weird thing because you are not looking at a person. You're looking at a little dot. And then you see your face on the live. So it's kind of bizarre. And then also you have headphones in, so you can't hear properly. It's like you're in this sensory deprivation. It's very awkward and it's uncomfortable, right? But with practice, anything can become comfortable. That's the power of momentum. So I've just been giving myself very small goals to do at least a 1 minute recording here, 1 minute recording several times a day. And having done that just for like 5 days, now I feel so much more at ease. I'm enjoying making the video a lot more. And I only planned on just doing a short video. I ended up staying for 39 minutes without really feeling stressed at all. And then over time, I hope you guys end up seeing the transition. And let's say a month, 2 months from now, I'll be able to most likely be like Sneeko or someone where I can go 3-4 hours in one session without getting stressed or overwhelmed or needing to take like a long break. That's the goal, to show you that, and then the channel will blow up from the momentum. That's my plan right now. And I don't know if anyone watching this has goals in terms of like building a business, building a YouTube channel, building their social media, even things like Tinder, going to the gym. The way I found to do that is using momentum, right? It's all about momentum, a small thing that you do every day that's very easy. And even when you're in a shitty mood, you can still do it. So like 1 minute, I have to make a YouTube video, at least 1 minute recording for a YouTube video every day. Now, a week in, I've recorded multiple videos today, and one of them is 40 minutes. And it's because of momentum. I'm not giving myself larger and larger goals. It's just 1 minute. That's it. Very easy. But now you start to look forward to it because you're doing it because you want to, not because you have to. If you say, I have to make a video every day, that whole process, I have to do it. You're feeling forced. But when you do it this way, you are doing it because you want to, and then it becomes effortless. It becomes something you look forward to. You start to get into a flow state. So that's a lesson that I really want to teach with the channel, that I want people to learn, because I've made this mistake for years of just like pushing myself, the grind set, Sigma male grind set. I'm going to do 8 hours of this. I'm going to do, 50 approaches a night. Eventually you can get there, but the way to get there is with momentum, not trying to force yourself or to control things too much. Just give yourself a nudge in the right direction, and the rest will take care of itself. So that's a message for anyone who's watching this live. I probably won't put this in the final version of the video. And I'm going to wrap up in a few minutes. But if anyone has any questions about pickup, about dating, about anything relevant, I'll stay for a minute or two and answer those. And it's been good doing this. So I will go get a drink. Be right back. If you have any questions, now's your chance. All right. All right, no questions. And if there's anything that you think I should react to, any infield, any coaches that you think I should really make a video about, let me know. I appreciate that, Mike. Look, if maybe I can find some of the first. I wish I had like the unedited the first times I would make a YouTube video. This is not easy for me naturally. I would say like one sentence and then need to take a long ass break and then say it like 1,000 times, but it's like cut, right? Fuck up, say it again. So what I want to talk, goddamn. So what I want to talk about, it just shit show. And then slowly it gets better over time with momentum. But even if you go to my channel and you like watch the oldest videos, the ones it's like 4 years, my voice is like an entire octave higher. I'm extremely stiff, like no facial expressions, like uncomfortable on the camera. And the difference is definitely noticeable over time. And this is true for anything. This is true with game. The first approaches, you're going to be pretty awkward. You're going to be pretty uncomfortable. Some girls will still like you. You'll still get lucky. But after a month, if you go out every day, it becomes so effortless, so easy that you just start flowing, right? You're flowing instead of being stiff. And women respond to that. They feel the difference. They feel that you're magnetic and charismatic. And then it's just automatic. The attraction's automatic. You don't have to do shit. You know, a great example would be watch Michael Collins. His game is not technical. He doesn't do a lot of technical shit. He's just very sexual, very blunt, and very confident. And that works. His channel is called, I believe, The Upward Spiral of Excellence. All right. So with that said, if no one has any videos recommendations for me to react to, then I'll wrap up. There's a chance I won't even be able to go to sleep because now My mind's like racing. And if that's the case, I might do another one. So we'll see. I might even do another video if I think of, maybe I'll break down one of my infields. Maybe I'll do a coach versus coach of different guys' infields. I'm not sure yet, but if not doing that tonight, I'll definitely be back tomorrow for another live.